Hello everyone, today we have new video review and this time we are going to check fresh release from Special Hobby. As you can see, this aircraft is modeled in 1/32 scale and it copies IAR-81, it's BoPI dive type bomber, and now we have a chance to check closer this big aircraft. Let me remind you that we are gathering money for the new camera. You can help us by pressing the donate button on our website. Now, of course, it is safe, it is fast because it's done via PayPal, and of course you decide the amount we will get from you. As for this kit, we reviewed several IAR-81 versions before. It's already, as far as I remember, third version of this Romanian aircraft. As you can see, we have this beautiful box art on the front. Here you can see comparison with my hand. It's not that big box. I would say it's typical for 1/48 scale kits, not for 1/32. Nevertheless, all parts fit inside, so don't be worried about possible damages or any other extra problems. And what we have on the side is information that it's made in Czech Republic, and here we have some safety advices. Next we have, of course, all parts packed into the same plastic bag, and we are going to check them one by one. Here we have first plastic sprue. I'll zoom in so that you can see all parts closer. And obviously here the biggest parts are fuselage halves, of course. As you can see, both are molded together with tail segments. They feature recessed panel lines and riveting. Note that rudder is molded separately, and here you can see another fuselage half. Really nice molding quality, but note that attachment points, they might require some attention because they're a bit of thick, let's say. Here you can see also propeller blades. I'll try to focus camera on them. As you can see, blades are molded separately. Propeller hub is molded also separately on 3 attachment points, so be careful while separating it. We have separate cowling parts. Here is the frontal section. Here are side panels, first and second. Let's flip it over. Inside we don't have any position pins, as you can see, so you will have to be careful while building those or gluing those two fuselage halves together. But otherwise, molding quality is really nice, and I really doubt that you will have any problems. Just again, I will remind you, be careful with the thick attachment points. They might be tricky to separate off the part, away from the part, and then you might even damage it. Then here we have another plastic sprue. This one, as far as I can see, is specific for today's version of the dive bomber. Here we have new landing gear covers. Also we have new propeller hub, as you can see here, and of course several bombs which will be attached outside. Inside, those parts don't have any position pins, as you can see here, and again you'll have to be careful while gluing them together because nothing will help you with proper position of those parts between each other. Next we have slightly bigger plastic sprue. This one is dedicated to internal and external elements. For example, here you can see engine parts. Note that those two will have to be assembled separately, and the same can be said about those two. Also here we have landing gear covers, some cockpit elements, then another engine part, then we have landing gear wheels. Each wheel should be assembled out of 2 hulls. Here we have also landing gear legs, and that's pretty much all. Let's flip it over. Inside again, those engine parts, they don't have any position pins, so take your time, do not hurry with them, because otherwise you might get a wrong fitment and then it will be tricky to fix it on your model. Just give me a second, we'll take a look at this plastic sprue. As you can see, it is full of tiny parts. I'm not sure where they will be used, maybe some wing mechanization. Here you can see also engine exhausts and also some plastic parts for the cockpit. Again, molding quality seems to be fine. I don't see any flash around the parts, but take your time. As you can see, size is really tiny. Here you can see comparison with my finger. So of course, maybe in some cases you have to use tweezers in order to get parts in the right spot. Here you can see plastic sprue with tail wings and elevators, and also rudder. So as you can see, each tail wing will have to be assembled out of 2 halves. The same can be said about elevators. And also here we have those ailerons and flaps. Here you can see them. I guess they should be assembled out of 2 halves as well. Here you can see these 2 parts. Note that inside we have small molding pins. Of course, it won't be difficult to delete them. Just keep it in mind. Again, we don't have any position pins, we just have molding pins. Even though, of course, we all would prefer to have position pins. The same applies to this last gray plastic sprue. Here we have wing parts. As you can see, wing parts division is typical. So we have 1 bottom part and 2 top halves. Also note that landing gear wheel wells are pre-molded. We have recessed panel lines and riveting in place. Attachment points seem to be fine, but again, be careful with them, especially on leading edges, because you might easily damage them and then it will be tricky to fix everything. Again, I will remind you that inside we don't have any position pins, as you can see here, so take your time, because you will have to assemble out of halves, not only wings but also elevators, ailerons, flaps. Everything will have to be assembled out of 2 halves, so you will have to take some time while gluing them together. Next we have transparent plastic sprue. Here it is. Molding quality is really nice and I don't see any possible problem with them. Note that in separate plastic bag we have special transparent part for target side. With canopy parts you should be able to replicate open cockpit, but the only thing you should keep in mind is that masks are not included into this kit, so you have to cut them with your own hands or maybe just to buy some aftermarket set, even though I don't remember that there are some aftermarket sets. But this canopy is relatively simple in comparison with other available kits, so maybe you will be able to do it relatively fast. So I'll do the angle shot so that you can see it from the side. As you can see, amount of attachment points is reduced to the minimum, to the possible minimum, let's say. So I think it won't be difficult to separate these parts, and of course they will look good in place. And as I said before, even this relatively large canopy section is packed into the separate plastic bag in order to avoid possible scratches. Then we have another separate plastic bag with resin parts. As you can see here, we have quite interesting set of resin parts. That's a Ziploc bag. Here they are. Typical resin parts, but they should bring extra detail into your 1/32 scale aircraft. Just be careful with them. And it is quite interesting to see that manufacturer decided to combine resin parts together with plastic engine, because usually we see that engine is also supplied as a made out of resin. Then here we have separate plastic bag with decal sheets and PE thread. First I would like to show you PE thread. As you can see here we have seat belts for the cockpit, also here as well. And this is obviously not an Edward product, but I think still it will do quite nice when applied on the model. Then we have, as I said, 2 decal sheets. Here you can see the narrow one, which is dedicated to various stencils. Also here we have decals for dashboard and some internal elements. These might come handy for fine detailing, but maybe it would be better to search for some colored PE in order to get even better detailing. And then we have larger decal sheet insignia for marking options, which are included into this kit. Printing quality is really nice. Maybe this can be replicated with masks by professionals, but I think once you apply these decals, they should look good as well. Then last but not the least is assembly manual, of course. It is printed in form of large brochure with short history note on the first page. I'll focus again. So here you can see it. Let's flip it over. Here we have parts map. Note that many parts won't be used and you can use them for your spare parts. Assembly process starts with cockpit, of course. Then we continue with pivot seat. We install everything into the fuselage half. We assemble wing. Target site is here. Then here we have fuselage assembly. When we join fuselage together with wing, here we assemble also canopy. Note that we have also special view on how to install the antenna. Then here you can see engine assembly, which is also quite interesting process. And here you can see it in the final, let's say, form. Next we have also special order in which engine should be assembled, so be careful and pay attention to this. Here you can see that all cooling flaps will be replicated with help of PE parts. Here we attach external elements like air intakes and landing gear system. Here you can see also proper position for the landing gear system. Of course, we install bombs, we install antenna, propeller, and then we have marking guides which are printed in cover. So here you can see first 2 marking options, then we have 2 more, and that's pretty much all. Here we have also some resin accessories which are available from CMK. So as you can see, you can get wheels for your aircraft, and those 3 are designed for a bit different kit. It's a Tempest MK5. So that's all for this video review. I hope you enjoyed it. As usual, if you like this video, press the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And I will see you in the next video review as usual. Bye.